We have been talking more on communication part of the subject until today. Today we are shifting to the other section, that is ethical section, the ethics part. So we do going to talk about work ethics. Oh, right. So the objectives of the today's presentation is there are four objectives. The first one being define and understand ethics. Second one, understand the benefits of ethics. Third, understand ethical and unethical behaviors. Last, the learn how to make ethical decisions and lead with integrity. So, what is work ethics? Now, what is a ethic? Of course, we need to know what is ethics. It determines individual standards of right and wrong. You know, we live in this society. We know there are rights and wrongs, which our religious leaders have told us. We believe some of the things, we believe in different religions. And from the very small days, our parents have told us do not do this, and this is the correct one, this is the wrong one. So therefore, when it comes to the work ethics, when you go to a job as an employee, what are the standards of right and wrong? Second one, it determines what one should do in a given situation. One should do correctly in a given situation. Maybe it may be a very pressurized situation, tenuous situation, where you are pressurized, you are in some sort of a stressful situation where you cannot take a decision. So in that particular situation, how you take an action, correct action in a given situation. And it is a responsibility of each individual to examine personal morals and behaviors. Personal morals is there are what we etiquettes and other correct things where the society accepts as a good things. Why ethics is important? If you follow the good ethics, you satisfy your basic human needs. You create your own credibility in the society. In your work area, in your location, maybe in the site, maybe in the office, home front, and with your relations, everywhere you create your credibility. And the ethics uniting the people and leadership also. When you follow good ethics, you improve yourself in decision making, better decision making, correct decision making. Finally, if all of us in the society follow the good ethics, that will secure the society. So there will be a better society. So we sometimes talk your teachers, your parents, your elders talk about good countries. Why some of our learned people try to go for some developed countries? Why you apply to go to New Zealand, Australia, and then Scotland, Ireland, and those countries? They think the society there is secured than Sri Lanka. So in that way, in some way, it is correct. because most of the people follow good ethics in those countries, maybe because of the law prevailing in those countries. But anyway, if you have a very good set of more than 90% or 80% of people who are following good ethics, that particular society can be told as a better securing country, securing society. Work ethic, what is it and how do I get some? If you really work really hard and are kind, amazing things will happen. So kindness is also one of the personal values in ethic. When you work hard, that means you are working in ethical condition. You are setting yourself in an ethical situation and do really work hard. You committed yourself. You committed your job, right? That is what the office environment, working environment gives you. Environment asks from you to follow. I will give you another definition regarding this work ethic. As an employee, how an employee shows their employer they are worth their paycheck. That means when you are working for an employer or for an institution, for an organization, that particular organization paying you a paycheck, that is, give you a salary. So in return to that salary, the organization or the owner of that organization, the employer, expects something from you. Sometimes not to match the paycheck, but more than the value of the given paycheck. So that is, as an employee, how you should work to satisfy your employer and to do the justice for your salary. A good work ethic is an attitude that combines hard work, good performance, and dependable results. I will read it out again. You can even take down. A good work ethic is an attitude, akalpaya, that combines hard work. You work hard and you perform well, good performance, and dependable results. Your results will the organization will depend on your results. The organization will depend on your work. Organization will depend on your good performance. So if you work hard, if you give good performance, as the organization expect from you, and you give the results at the end of the day, that is what work ethic is all about. There are some work ethics more value to individuals. I have listed some of the work ethics which is more value to persons and individuals. The productivity of the organization will depend on your ethical conduct, your hard work, your performance, and your results. The diligence will depend on your ethics. The reliability. The organizations will rely on the employees. So you depend on the organization depend on you. you have a reliability with the organization. Will be reliable to you, and you reliable to the organization. The responsibility, most of the time we use this particular word responsibility. When you are at home, you call about responsibility. When you are in the lecture room, the lecturers tell you about what is your responsibility as a student. So when you go to a work, what is your responsibility as a worker or the employee or an officer or an engineer, whatever you say. So the responsibility is more on individual basis. Then comes the other word is accountability. Accountability is most of the time is a group responsibility. Now look at this person who suicide the central bank assistant director. I was told yesterday night by one of the directors of the treasury saying that the particular person was given the full responsibility to put the money to that particular account, that country's account. So final money transaction was in the hands of this gentleman, assistant director. So what has happened? Fortunately or unfortunately, what has happened? He has transferred the money to a wrong bank account. Now, what has happened now? Even though it is his personal responsibility, now 4 or 5 people were taken by the CID and remanded, and they were interdicted. And finally, what has happened is everybody says this total group has the accountability of that particular action, not only the responsibility. Even though the responsibility they are with the particular single person, we have an accountability as a group. When you work in a organization, let's say you are doing a construction project, like you are doing a building project, there may be different individuals. So there will be architect who are doing the designing. There will be a structural engineer who do the structural planning and structural designs. There may be electrical engineers, MEP engineers. Then there will be quantity surveyors, right? The CAD draw people. Finally, there will be project manager. Lot of people are involved in the project, right? If the construction or the project get delayed, or there will be a defect in the construction, it will be a group responsibility, accountability of the whole group. Nobody can say, I have done my responsibility. Each and every individual may say that I have done my part, I have done my part, I don't have any responsibility regarding this particular issue. No. As a group, you have to be accountable for the defect. And on the other hand, if the project is successful, as a whole group, no individual, one individual cannot take the credit of what has happened, the success of the story. Total group can take the credit of the success story of the project. The last one is do it yourself. Some of the works you cannot give it to authorize to somebody else. You yourself has to do it. Some part of your job can be authorized to somebody, authenticated. But some of the works, that has to be done by yourself. So you have to take that particular responsibility as an individual, as an expert on that particular job. Ethics is something that is learned and chosen throughout one's life. Now, students write, you may be at the age of below 25 years, 23, 22, 20, 19, 18, 20. Now, if you take your lecturers, Dr. Uddar, Dr. Buddhika, and some of the people, they are in the low middle age, 30 to 35, 36. I'm an older person. Everybody in this society, you, your lecturers, and myself, everybody is at a point of your life. Every time, every day, learn something. So, ethics is something that is learned and chosen throughout one's life. You learn, you learn ethics, you learn your etiquettes, you learn good things during your whole lifetime. So, one cannot say, I know all these ethics in my life. No, because you learn day by day. When you grow older, you can see the mistakes you have done during the past. You may say, you may think, my goodness, if I know, if I had this knowledge, if I had this experience 10 years back, I would have taken different decisions at that particular times. Right? So therefore, you learn and you choose and you learn ethics throughout your life. This is very important. Ethics is having the ability to make the right decision even under strenuous circumstances. Ability to make the right decision even under strenuous circumstances. That is, if you are in a, I have told you earlier, if you are in a pressurized situation, if you are in a stressful situation, even that within the stressful situation, you should be able to take the right, the correct decision in that particular situation. So I have put some picture to get your understanding regarding common workplace ethics. Time management, dependability and punctuality. Punctuality is very, very important. Time management is very, very important. Most of the time, Sri Lankans do not work in time. They don't attend to the meetings in time. They don't complete their works in time. They take it as granted. Then the second one is responsibility. You have to take your own responsibility. Take your own responsibility. Now you have come out from your home. Now there are no your parents are not there with you, right? When you are at home, you can think that my parents are here. Even if I do a mistake, they will show it to me, right? This is a correct way, this is a wrong thing. But when you are alone, right? Some people may be from Hambantota, some students may be from Putlam, some are from Jaffna, Anuradhapura, wherever, different parts from the country. But you are in one place. You are alone. So when you are alone, the decisions you have to take very carefully. You have your own responsibility to learn, to study, to behave, not to do any bad things to your friends, the lecturers, the university. Those are the things you have to think. Those are the ethical conduct you have to follow. Then the integrity and loyalty. You have to be loyal to your university. You have to loyal to your lecturers. When you go to the workplace, you have to loyal to your organization. You have to loyal to your boss. You have to work as an do your work in integrity manner. So that the other thing is teamwork. That is always now you are join groups, that there will be group assignments, there will be group work, right? I know when you are working in a group, there are very brilliant students. There are some weak people also in a group. So you have to share your work, share, and you have to push the other weak friend to a higher level. Share your thoughts, share your responsibilities in the team. In that way, you can be a winner, not individually, but as a team. But as a team. The next one is positive attitudes. You should have a very good attitudes towards everything, towards your studies, towards your lecturers, towards your institution, towards your workplace, towards your parents, towards your relations, everyone. Positive attitudes. You should remove your negative attitudes from your life. Finally, all these matters to the professionalism. Vurtimiya bhava. So you should be a professional in your work. We are going to become a civil engineer, or maybe you will be becoming an academic. You may be sometimes will be both academic and a professional, right? Sometimes you may love to do jobs at the site. Whatever you do, you have to be act in a professional manner. The professionalism will be accounted there. There are some common workplace ethics as well. I have put this some of the list earlier: responsibility, teamwork, professionalism, positive attitude, integrity and loyalty, time management, dependability, punctuality. And last three things, little bit different from the top six. Avoid discussing personal problems at work. I have worked nearly about 5 to 6 organizations during my career of 40 years of career. Most of the time I have seen, especially in the government sector, a lot of people in the organization, the officers always talking about their personal problems, discussing their personal problems rather than the work that they have to do. So you have to avoid discussing personal problems at work. The next thing is keep the personal phone calls to a minimum. Now, I don't want to tell the name. Now, I'm working in the Central Provincial Council as a consultant engineer. When I walk to my office, I have nearly about 25 meters to walk. Get down from the vehicle and walk to my office. One minute, please. So I was telling you a story. I'm walking to my office. There is a lady. He's a clerical management assistant whose husband is working in a foreign country, maybe a rich lady. Every time when I see her, she is with the phone. coming outside under a mango tree, under another tree, under a roof. I think out of 8 hours, she is with the phone nearly about 6 hours. Always talking to her friends, talking to the outsiders. Nobody is worried also. She is with the phone all the time. So she does not do a justice to her salary, right? In our country, in garment factories and some other personal organization like Alihinia and then this big garment companies, factories, they do not allow the employees to take the phone inside the office. Individual phone has to be kept at the stores, kept at the security office, and take a card. So when they enter into the office at 8 o'clock, they'll have to keep the phone out, and only after work 4:30, the phone can be taken back. So no calls can be given, no calls can come. So they are fully engaged with the job. Because why that is we do not take the responsibility of our work. We take the softness of our employees granted. So this our phone is ruining whole country. Somebody has some are having 2 phones, some are having 3 phones, different phones, right? These phone calls, you do not know. Most of the people do not know how to really use the phone. What is the purpose of phone? Having the phone, right? They misuse the phone all the time, right? So therefore, keep the personal phone calls to a minimum when you are working in the workplace. That has to be done. You can use them on your break, lunchtime only, and then after work. Those are the workplace ethics. Take your responsibility. When you are given a responsibility, you have to go not 100%, more than 100% to the work and finish it before the time given. That is how you can be a better person, ethical person, talented person, excellent in your organization. So those are the things I have to share with you. There's another thing, very important thing we'll have to discuss within about 12 minutes or 8-10 minutes. That is, in this country, a lot of people are stealing. What do you mean by stealing? Taking some others, the things which are in some others' possession without the knowledge or the approval of that particular person who owns that thing. Stealing is illegal and unethical at all times. Sorakam kirim. Taking office supplies or food from the storeroom is stealing. Even if you have a fridge in your office without the approval, there are some organization that they have keep the fridge and they have keep all the cool drinks, everybody to go and drink. That is not stealing. At any time they are allowed to do. Right? There are some hot drinks also. Hot drinks means coffee and other things. That is not stealing. That is allowed. That is a workplace given special, excuse me, right? Then taking cash from the cash register is stealing. Very recently, we have heard some of the SRUPs or CCs in the organizations. Even in when I was working, I worked for Sri Lanka Transport Board for 1.5 years. All the conductors have to, just after every trip, come to the depot and hand over the collected money, ticket money, to the SRUF there was accountant there. There's a SRUF. Below the accountant, there's a SRUF. Sarap kelke. So the SRUF has to do what they have to do is, until 3 o'clock, collected money has to go and put it to the bank. From 3 o'clock onwards, they have to put it to the safe. And next day morning, they'll have to go and put it to the bank. Right? So there's a case, there are cases when the conductors on Fridays, they have a practice. They have a practice. That is, Fridays, whole day, all conductors collect money of the whole day money, total money of the day, at around 4 o'clock. They go and hand over the money to the SRUF for the accountant. You know how much of money? I'll tell you one simple depot, Polonnaruwa depot. There are 345 workers working. More than 120 buses going everywhere. 120 buses. Polonnaruwa depot. More than. So all these 120 buses going trips on full day. All the 120 conductors come and give the money to the account. What they have done, not the Polonnaruwa, I have taken an example of the magnitude of the size of the Polonnaruwa depot. This has not happened in Polonnaruwa. My case is somewhere else. So then, the accountant, what he or she used to do is get that money to his or her hand. Millions, right? Lakhs. And she give it to the traders in the town for 2 days for some interest. Let's say, now normally a monthly interest is, let's say, 12% these days. For 2 days, let's say 1% interest for 2 days. So let's say not 1 million, let's say 500,000, 1%. Hmm? 10,000, 15,000 rupees. More than that, sometimes 25,000 rupees for the weekend. Earning. And Sunday evening or Monday morning, Monday by noon, that person coming and giving the money with the interest. So the accountant or the shop put the money, the interest in their purse, pocket, and put the money to the bank. Nobody can catch. Nobody can catch. Why? The money was to be inside the safe. Nobody come and check. Nobody. The the safe. සේප්පු බලන්නේ නැහැ. So that is stealing. Even they are putting back to the bank on Mondays, they have earned using those money. Stealing. And last one. Letting your friends eat without charging their is also stealing. If you are the in charge of the canteen, restaurant, you do not eat, but you are allowing your friends or relations to eat without charging. That is also stealing. How to act in a professional manner. You have to be on time. You should not be aggressive to others. Be polite. Be respectful. Respect is very important as far as ethical person is concerned. You have to respect your friend. You have to respect your mother. You have to respect your father. You have to respect your brother or sister. You have to respect your teachers. You have to respect your boss. Not only that, you have to respect to the workers in the organization. Even when you are outside of your office or you are in a town or a bank or wherever in the society, you have to respect to the all the human beings, not only human beings, even to the animals. You have to respect. That is very important. Be dependable, right? So you have to support the others, right? If you want some help from the others, you should be able to get from the others. If the others need help from you, you have to support the others. In the workplace, if you finish your work, right, you cannot just walk here and there. I am finished my work. If there are people, if there are your friends, the co-workers who could not finish, who can't finish their work in time, you have to support them. That is the responsibility of an ethical person. That is a mark of a responsible and ethical person. The last one is show initiative. If there's a work to be done, nobody starts the things. You have to go and organize the things, give the initiative, open the work, talk to the others, give some kind words. Let's start this work. This has to be completed. So we'll start and we'll do it and push the others. That is the ethical manner you have to follow. Avoid gossips. No gossips are expected at your workplace. Do not use profanity. What is profanity? Profanity. බොරු දිවුරුන් දීම. බොරුවට එකඟ වීම, දිවුරුන් දීම. Be trustworthy. Right? I have a good friend in my town. He has a large board. He is really a trustworthy person. He has a large board in front of his office. Trust is first. His logo is this word, your what do you call this organization's remarkable saying they have. Trust is first. I asked from him when I started working with him. He's a person who is doing these computers and all these IT work and doing repairs, all these things. His tagline, I asked about his tagline. Trust is first. Do you keep the word this way? He said, yes. I keep my word. I allow others to trust with me. I keep that trust. So he's happily, he says, with very confident manner, he says, yes. I keep my tagline to my work. Trust is first. You have to be a trustworthy person. Right. I'll give you a small case study to think. Aruni worked in an insurance agency where she answered the telephone and prepared estimates for potential clients. She worked Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. When her employer went out of town for a few days, Aruni had the telephone calls forwarded to her home and she was answering the call from the home and did not go into the office until noon on some days. She knew that her employer wouldn't find out. Employer will not find out because she has been doing the work, doing the thing, responsibility from home also. Our problem is whether Aruni's gesture, Aruni's actions are ethical or not. Now take a piece of paper and write within 2-3 minutes whether you think Aruni's action is ethical or no problem or not. If you say it is ethical, no issue. If you say it is not ethical, write the reasons why. I'll give you 2 minutes and ask some questions. Dr. Udaro, you are there? Dr. Dara? Miss Nipuni, are you there? Right. Let's have a small discussion regarding this. We have about 5-7 minutes. Can somebody unmute your mic and say your idea? Somebody. I'm not naming you. Just we'll have a small discussion. What do you think? Kavya? Kavya. Can Kavya answer? Madhushankar? I'm just telling the names in order. Anybody? Anybody who can say something? Whether Aruni's actions and the gestures, right? Legal, ethical, or not? Okay, since nobody is responding, I'll tell you my side how I think. First thing is, you have to obey the rules of the office. The rules of the office is you have to be in the office from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You go and sign and you have to be there at 5:30 physically. Some of the works you have which are the organizations is allowing you to work from home. This is not that type of a case. Aruni was not allowed to work from home because she had to go to the office. The first thing is she has broken that particular rule of the office, not going to the office. Second thing is she has done this one when her employee is out of the town. And she was thinking that employer wouldn't find out. That means her mind also herself is telling that I am doing a wrong thing. Anyway, I am doing my job from home, and luckily the employee is out of the town. She or he will not find out what I have done. I have transferred the calls to my place. And that is the second thing is she has done an unethical thing by forwarding her calls to her home. Right? And the third is that she has not gone to office, not 1 hour, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes late. She has purposely, deliberately got late until noon at 12 o'clock to the office so that she has not done an ethical thing. Even though finally the expected outcome comes out from her, the answering the telephone calls and doing the estimates for the potential clients, she has broken the rules and she has broken the trust of her employer. Trustworthiness is broken. So that is not a sign of an ethical person. Right? With that, I'm going to conclude my lecture, and there will be a group assignment next week. Understanding ethics, brainstorming within your groups, answer these two questions following this layout. At least 8 for each. Just you can take this down, but that will be again uploaded to your Moodle. What does the employer owe to you? What do you owe your employer? What employer owes to you? What you owe to the employer? What are they expected? At least you have to list at least 8 for each. It's a group assignment. Sometimes I may change the group assignment tomorrow, day after. I will be putting this particular thing, this assignment, group assignment to the Moodle. And the other thing, within this 3 minutes, I want to tell you, Professor Badrani was telling me that you have been given a large assignment, group assignment regarding an organization, finding the facts of an organization. And when Professor Badrani, Aruni, and other instructors were checking from your groups, you were not ready with that, right? Because we have only 4 weeks to go, and Dr. Buddhika will get your letters ready and try to go out, find out a contact person from your organization, and try as far as possible the things that will be very helpful for your life. When you go to an organization after your graduation or diploma awarding, you will go to an organization and work, and that will be helpful when you are doing this particular assignment, and you will come to know different organization. And when you go to an organization and when you get practice with the organization, when you go to an individual organization, individual, not as a group, no. Just after your graduation, you have to go individually for a job. Then you will have not have this butterflies in your stomach. Not strange. You know about the organizations and you have been to an organization with your group. That is a very good thing. Therefore, get ready as far as possible. Contact person, get all these things, and get ready for a presentation. There will be 2 presentation before the end of the semester. One is individual speech. 3 minutes to 4 minutes speech individual. We will be giving you individual. So from after about 2 weeks time, I'll be explaining you how to do a speech, and I will personally come there to the university, the ITUM, and there will be individual presentation will be taken, and the group presentation as well. There are 2 presentations, individual presentation on a speech and a group presentation. Get ready with that. And Professor Badran and Aruni and other instructors will tell you, and even Dr. Udara will be helping you. With that remark, exactly 6:15, we will conclude this particular lecture. Thank you. Since you all are not talking or not answering, I will conclude the lecture. Thank you. Good night.